Just kind of give us the top line on what happened here, and then let's drill down and get into it.
Yeah, so it was spring of 2021. And one afternoon, my dad just looked over at my mom and I as we were watching NCIS and said, "Ladies, just in case it comes up after I pass, I had to change my name when I moved here. No one can find out because the authorities are probably still looking for me. I don't want to talk about it, but just so you know." My first thought was that this is a really terrible dad joke. Like, this is not funny. You have lung cancer. This isn't funny. But by the next day, I thought, if this is real, then I have to talk to him because I should know my dad's real name and therefore maybe my real name because Randall's fake, clearly. And I talked to him the next afternoon and said, "You have to tell me." And he said that he would as long as I promised not to look into it, which I did look into it. He told me his name. And then I ended up by myself at like 2:30 in the morning that evening, finally Googling it because I couldn't not look. And the first thing I saw was headlines that said, "Vault teller robs bank," and then 50-year hunt or something, or they'd been looking since the 70s. And I thought, oh my God, my life is a Lifetime movie.
Let's just get into it. So in 1969, your dad was in Cleveland, and he was a bank teller at Society National Bank. And on a Friday afternoon, he raided the vault and left town, went to Washington, D.C., and then eventually ended up in Boston, changed his identity, changed his name, stole over $200,000, which is like 1.6 million in today's money, and became a fairly wealthy guy and changed his whole life. Do I have that right?
You have it all right. He worked as the vault teller. So he was the one in charge of the money in the vault. So he just left that Friday and took some of the money with him.
Yeah, but how did he get away with this for so many years? I mean, the FBI is pretty sophisticated. They knew that he had stolen the money. So
well, and they had his picture, right? From like that scene, they had his picture on like America's like Most Wanted, and then just
how did he get away with this for 50 years?
When I ever told him that there were all these articles about him and that there was like an unsolved mystery, he couldn't believe it. He said
he never Googled it once.
Per him, no, he couldn't believe that people still really cared. He was like, that was so long ago. I really think that he just put it in a box and put like the thought of it and put it away. He became Tom Randall. He essentially blew through all that money by the late 70s. When he met my mom, the money was gone. He was living in a modest apartment and had a job. And growing up, I mean, we weren't wealthy. We were just paycheck to paycheck. I think we went on 3 family vacations total my whole life. But I had great parents, and I had a dad who I thought was the typical suburban dad who drives you to school and comes to every soccer game and every play. And really, he's a wanted fugitive. Like my dad is a fugitive.